We are living in extraordinary times, through events that test everyone's ability to survive and thrive. Like me, you might be watching films or reading books about other catastrophic events. The book that's made the greatest impression on me is Helen Dunmore's The Siege. This tells Anna's story and her struggle to survive in Hitler's lockdown of Leningrad in 1941. Her goal was to avoid starvation, but also to keep the flame of hope alive. A common theme in all these stories is the triumph of hope over adversity. And individuals in these stories chose to adapt and change in order to survive and thrive. People working in primary care are often very resourceful and good at adapting to change, and that's because they usually have a set of very positive coping strategies. In lockdown, it may not be possible for you to use these coping strategies all the time. That's why it's important for everybody, every day, to think about what they need to do to maintain their own health and well-being, as having a set of positive coping strategies enables you to survive and to thrive. Experts across the world, including Nobel Prize winners, have produced evidence to support how these coping strategies work in practice. These are listed in the attached framework. I'd like to talk about one of these coping strategies today, and that's optimistic thinking. You may think that you are a half glass full person or a half glass empty person, and that this can't change. But Martin Seligman, a psychologist, proves otherwise. He has shown that it's possible to improve the way that you view the world and to make your perspective of the world more optimistic. This strongly correlates with feeling content with your life and surviving and thriving. There are some simple exercises you can do to promote this. The first one is before you go to bed each night, is to think of 3 things that you've done that day. It might be something you felt proud of, some simple task that you've done that you've executed well, or that smile to a colleague. It helps if you write them down, but evidence shows that if you do this over a period of a few weeks, it improves your ability to survive and thrive and builds your resilience. It is helpful to be mindful and focus on the here and now, but it's also helpful to think back to times in your life where you've been happy, to think about a good meal with family and friends, to look at photographs and see the smiles, to remember an event you particularly enjoyed. The other thing that's really useful is to have a song or a mantra or a poem or a picture that means something to you, that helps take you away from the day-to-day stress of the current problems and transports you to a different world. I'm going to read the poem that's helped me keep positive over the last few weeks. It's called The Cork and the Whale. A little brown cork fell into the path of a whale, who lashed it down with its angry tail. But in spite of the blows, it quickly arose and floated serenely before his nose. Said the cork to the whale, "You may flap and splutter and frown, but you'll never, never keep me down. For I'm made of the stuff that is buoyant enough to float instead of to drown." So whenever I'm feeling less than positive, I like to think of myself as that cork. My name's Nicola Gill, and I'm one of the team who organised GP training in York. I met many of you at the PLT in January, and I was planning on running a workshop on surviving and thriving at next week's PLT. I hope what I've said's been useful. My final message is to remember that this isn't a sprint, it's a long walk, and you need to take steps to maintain your health and well-being throughout this pandemic, so you can continue to contribute to the work of the NHS.